Hey everyone. I recently got a request from someone that just subscribed to me recently. He wanted to know what the best books on Gnostic Luciferianism was. Because we both have very similar ideas when it comes to antinatalism. And antinatalism means that we don't believe in procreation. So, and in Gnosticism, procreation is a sin, pretty much, because you're just contributing to the problem of the demiurge. Hi, Jerry. Yeah, Jerry's always gotta come. He's always gotta come in. Yep. Always. You always gotta be the tension. Yep. Yep. So Jerry has joined here. And I need you to move, Jerry. Jerry. Okay. So, no. Don't. Get away. Isn't that cool, guys? That's from the Oddfellows. That's an antique. I got that when I took my trip to Cleveland. So, yeah. It looks pretty cool there. So, that's an apron that they use during their ceremonies. Oddfellows Freemason. Well, pretty much. I think they're Freemason. I mean, they're different in it, division. They're different from the Scottish Rite. So anyway, without further ado, this is going to be, can you move? This is going to be basically just a video. Anybody that's interested in Gnostic Luciferianism, notice how I said Gnostic Luciferianism. There's many different kinds of Luciferianism. I'm a Gnostic one. So you're not going to find any Michael Ford books in this bunch. I don't even recommend him, really. I maybe like 2 of his books. But anyway, the first one that you would really want to start with, honestly, is this great introduction book about the Gnostic religion by Hans Jonas. This is a 50s edition, and it's definitely gonna kind of introduce you to Gnosticism, Gnostic Christianity, which is where Luciferianism essentially comes from. So there were many different sects of Christians. Unfortunately, the ones that won were the ones that became the Universalists, or the Catholics. And those were the ones that were picked by Emperor Constantine, basically, and that's the version that we've been sold. The Gnostic variation of Christianity teaches a different version, of course, where the Creator is bad, and Christ is essentially the Savior to liberate us from the clutches of the demiurge, the guy that created this abominable world. And took our spirits and trapped them into the flesh. We were perfect, and we were created by Sophia. And he came along and said that he was the only God, and trapped us in the flesh. This one, every Gnostic absolutely has to have this. It's going to have a ton of scriptures, ton of information. It's kind of like the unofficial Gnostic Bible, basically. The background is some archaeologists found this in Egypt. And they discovered when they were written, and essentially they're pretty old. A lot of them were Coptic. They were written in Greek, which wasn't uncommon back then. And the story goes a peasant found a bunch of scrolls in a jar. And unfortunately, some of them got destroyed because he was really poor and he had to heat his home. So, not really knowing how to read anyway, he had absolutely no idea what the value was of these things. But what we do know is eventually it got into the hands of archaeologists who absolutely understood the value of these texts. And since then, they've been compiled in this book. And yeah, this is a really excellent book. Everybody should have this in the library that want to explore Gnosticism, essentially. And it includes the text Origins of the World. I believe that's what it's called, about the Demiurge creating the world and what he did with Adam, and how there's two Adams. There's the clay-born Adam, which is the false Adam, and then there's the Adam of light, pure light and spirit. And according to this scripture, the Adam that is light, the pure Adam, is actually a lot more powerful than the Demiurge. And that is why the Demiurge, or Yahweh, God, as many people call him, took Adam and placed him into a clay-born vessel, essentially. Because he was threatened. He was threatened by the spirit that we have. So he was afraid that his power was going to be taken away, and so he did that. But it's got Gospel Philip, Thomas, Apocryphon of John, all kinds of amazing scriptures. So, Gospel of Mary, Act of Peter, yeah, just always. So, yep, on the origin of the world, yep, that's it, yep. So, basically what that's saying is we are actually more powerful than the Creator. Now, the Orthodox Christian's going to say that's blasphemy, of course. But, So then we have, this is one of my favorite ones. Here he actually, Christ himself talks about reincarnation and how we're in this endless cycle of being reborn, and that's like part of the punishment that we basically receive. He says that reincarnation is almost like a type of hell, but he's describing the Dimmerge taking your spirit and recycling it, essentially, into a new body. And this goes into how Sophia fell and created Yahweh, Yaldabaoth, whatever you want to call him, God. She created him because she fell from the original Father, the true God, the unknowable, essentially. And so he's telling the story with his disciples. And Mary Magdalene, of course, has a lot of input in this. It's a great scripture, it really is. It talks about how he liberated Sophia because she called out to him, all light. She said, "Oh, light, please come and help me." And Sophie helped her. So I recommend this too. It's probably not as necessary as this one and this one. Like, these two are going to be necessary more. This one's just, I included it because it's one of my favorite Gnostic books. So, and now we're going to get into more of the Luciferian heavy stuff. This book was out of print for the longest time. It says cosmology in it, which is necessary reading. I highly recommend this. In it, Sophia tells Adam that she is the creator of the God that created him. She comes down and becomes Lucifer, to grant knowledge. And this has two books. This is a compilation of 2 books, actually, and it just got a reprint. Yeah, it's Canon 2011. Yeah. Eon Sophia Press recently just re-released this in a handsome, beautiful edition. So mine is actually signed there. So I highly recommend this. I use this a lot in my rituals even. There's a lot of great scriptures in this. That every Gnostic Luciferian honestly should have this author. So Jeremy Krishner, he's a great guy. He really is. And he has his own website now, so you can get some of these on his website. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are definitely interested in this. This is his other one. This is like his newest one. Sermons to the Serpent's Servants. Volume 1, which means there's going to be another one. So, beautiful illustrations in it. Eon Sophia Press released a version of it, but I got this from his actual website. So, I have a copy that's a little bit cheaper. I know the Eon Software Press added some more illustrations. And it's maybe a little bit nicer, but this one was cheaper. And the cover is good. It's not flimsy paperback. It's more like a type of fake leather texture or something. It's the best way that I can describe it. It's really, it's just a really good book, though. I highly recommend it. Again, I'll share the link to his actual website. Yeah, Jeremy Krishner is like an absolute must. He's doing a lot of great things, bringing this stuff back. Hallowed be thy name. By the way, I did a book review for a lot of these books. I did reviews on them, so you guys are more than welcome to revisit those videos. Hallowed be thy name by Priscilla Vogelback. Is it Backer? Batcher? Yeah. This is just a real amazing book right here. She did a really good job here, real thorough job. Let's see. Deity, Alpha Deity, Divine Providence. Yeah. So she goes into how Lucifer and Yahweh are brothers. And she looks at Sumerian lore, the battle between Enki and his brother. And she goes into these different symbols and of course creation. Stories, myths. A lot of them are pre-biblical. Some of them are going back through some of the biblical stories, such as the Garden of Eden, and kind of her own theories about it. So it's a pretty good book. It really is. It's a long, lengthy. I mean, this is like a Bible in itself, honestly. I mean, if there's a book that comes close to the official Luciferian Bible, I would say this is probably falling into that category. So, yeah. It's definitely a good one. I highly recommend it. I almost forgot about this one. So, yeah, just amazing book. You can get it on Amazon. All of her books, she wrote quite a few of them. This is the only one that I have. She wrote one, I think, about reptilians and God and all that, and but yeah, she does like a really good job with this. So if anybody's like interested in kind of that whole biblical and Sumerian period, kind of the origins of God and creation, things like that, this is a really good one. So yeah, she just did a really good name. or a really good book here. Hallowed be thy name. Lucifer, Origins, and Revelation. So, yeah. That's a great one. And the wonderful thing is it's easy to find because it's on Amazon. So it's not out of print. I did talk about this during another video. This isn't really required for the Gnostic Luciferian, but it probably should be. Absolutely. That's why I included it in here. This is probably one of the best books that I've read, honestly, on Luciferianism. And it's the idea that at the heart of it, Luciferianism is really kind of about science and knowledge and becoming. Logic and reason, whereas, she goes into, like, kind of the dangers of Satanism, and how Satanism kind of plays more on, a dark fantasy type of scenario. But it also, she goes into, like, what the Holy Grail is, the whole John the Baptist and Mary Magdalene myths and all that. And then she goes into, like, the witch trials, how the Catholic Church abused its power and all that. Leonardo da Vinci was a Gnostic, but he was the variation that actually believed that John was the true Christ, John the Baptist. So, kind of goes along with that whole Gnostic theme going on. It came out around the same time as the Da Vinci Code, the Dan Brown book. So this was kind of like her real version of it, essentially. So Lynn Picknett, Secret History of Lucifer. And it's really nice how she differentiates Satanism from Luciferianism in this. And just really an amazing book. How sometimes Lucifer is actually an ancient goddess associated with Venus. Lightbringer was extended to Mary Magdalene. So she goes into, like, that whole thing. But yeah, just amazing book. Now, this one, God, both of these. I did a book review on these, and what can I say that hasn't been said already? These are magnificent books, but they're going to cost you a lot of money if you're lucky and you can find them. I've had people even ask if I was interested in selling these books. They are going to be really hard to get, and the reason why is because this publishing company, I believe, is long gone. And unfortunately, nobody else has picked these up. But Nigel Jackson and Michael Howard really did a good job with this one. between these two, I think this one's a little bit better, personally. And of course on the cover it's got Yaldabaoth of the Dimmerge on there. So, but it just the information that you get in this is really amazing. Goes into Luminal. Basically some background behind this is there was a woman in the UK named Mary Montalban. Montalban, I think her name is. Let me see. Let me see what her name was. Jeez. What was her name? Okay. Well, anyway, the woman that started this Luciferian sect in the UK, these books are actually based off of her teachings. And it goes into angelic magic. Gospel of Cain. Goes into angelic magic and everything in here. So including like how to summon Lucifer and Samael and some of these other ones. So yeah, contact with the angels. Basically, these books are just amazing. They're priceless, honestly. So, in some ways, this book is a sequel to The Pillars of Tubal Cain. Another way is a prequel. Yeah. Yeah, these books are just made, they go together, they really do. So, the illustrations are just amazing. Goodness. Again, stuff about Sumerian gods, secret biblical secrets, you know, angel magic, Luciferianism. Just really good stuff. There's a depiction of Lilith. So, yeah. So, she got in contact with an angel named Lumiel, and she believed that Lumiel was one of the secret names of Lucifer. So, she kind of built this whole sect around it. But this book has amazing chapters, including stuff about, you know, the Black Madonna, you know, being associated with Mary Magdalene, you know, who the real Queen of Sheba was, you know, it's traditional witchcraft, Gnosticism, things about ancient races, you know, Freemason stuff, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of like Lynn Picknett's book, The Secret History of Lucifer. It's kind of like this in a way, but they're just amazing, highly detailed books. So, yeah, I highly recommend these. I mean, unfortunately, I really wish they were still in print. Your best bet, honestly, if you want these books, is going to be checking Amazon, checking AbeBooks, you know, I mean, even, if you live near Canada, I mean, if you can go to Canada, look for them there, you know, because Canada has a lot of British published stuff. These were published in Britain. So, yeah, you can see the pound there. So you never know. You might find a used bookstore in Canada that has them. You might even find an occult store that has them still. I got lucky. When I lived in Colorado, I found both of these in Colorado and a occult store. And that was just luck. Pure luck. Basically. So that's all I can. I mean, you know, you might get lucky. You know, I'm sure somebody might have sold a copy on Amazon at one point. But yeah, there's a store in California might even have one. I mean, who knows? It's just it depends, you know, on where people are geographically. You know. But certainly if you're in England, you have more of a chance running into them than you do in America. So, if anybody's watching this, it's from the UK, you're probably going to find these books eventually. But, yeah, it's unfortunate they haven't been picked up by somebody else. And both of these authors, unfortunately, I think are dead now. I know Nigel Jackson is for sure. But I think Michael Howard might have also passed away. So I can't say for sure, but that makes all the difference as well. A lot of times when people do pass away, their books kind of get left in limbo somewhere. As we saw with the author Kenneth Grant, for a while his books were kind of left in a limbo where we didn't know if they were going to be republished or not. And now they're republished again. The Enlightened Luciferian. This is a pretty good book. So I tell you to get the third one because the third one has both book 1 and 2 inside of it as a gift if you buy this. And one of the things that I really like about this is he goes into these prophecies, these war prophecies that Albert Pike had made. Albert Pike was like a seer. According to a lot of people who have written about this, he made a prediction of 3 world wars and what was going to happen. And if anybody wants me to do a separate video where I'm actually reading the predictions, I can certainly do that. But essentially he gets everything right. About Hitler, the Second War, and then he goes into the Third World War, what's going to happen, which is very frightening. But supposedly, in a letter written to Giuseppe Mazzini, dated August 15th, 1871, Albert Pike reveals the true Luciferian Illuminati agenda to carry out these 3 world wars and bring balance to the world by exterminating all religion and replacing them with Luciferianism by the end of the Third World War. So essentially getting rid of the Abrahamic religions. And if you look at what's going on in today, it certainly seems like we're getting into that for sure. Things are definitely changing in the U.S., for example. A lot of people are turning away from traditional religion in favor of more of a secular type of society, which, you know, I truly believe that this country was founded on Luciferian principles, but it was unfortunately taken over by the Puritans pretty much. But the founding fathers were very rational-minded people, and a lot of them were members of Freemasonry. And, you know, there's a lot of quotes that are very anti-Christian if you start digging into what a lot of the founders believed in. But you know, on one hand you got Christian nationalism pushing that it's a Christian country. But then you got Luciferian nationalists like me that's saying, well, wait a minute. I don't see any evidence from the founding fathers. You know, you can say freedom of religion all you want, but it says clearly in there that you can't take one religion and favor it over all the other religions, and that's exactly what these people do. They don't read the full Constitution. They cherry pick what it says. It's like the Christian that cherry picks what the Bible says. They just don't read the full document. And there is more to the Constitution than what you hear constantly out of Christian conservatives. So, but I try to stay out of politics on this channel. So, and then Exegesis of Lucifer is a real good book. And I see my cats, unfortunately, did some damage to it. So that's good. So, Richard K. Page is an amazing author. He really is. He does a great job examining Lucifer and the symbology behind Luciferianism and Lucifer. he even talks about how Luciferianism can actually be right-hand path as well. He talks about how the right-hand path version of it typically sees Lucifer and Christ as the same. Well, that kind of sounds like me. But I think I fall kind of in between. There's no task there. So, but the art that he chooses in this is pretty good. So, I have a bunch of his books. I unfortunately cannot find the other Luciferian ones in this series, but this one he actually kind of goes into. So, yep, there it is. Actually kind of goes into some practice here. So it's actually pretty cool book. But yeah, definitely get this one. Origins of the Lucifer archetype, including his many incarnations as gods and legends throughout history. Gnostic aspects and often obscured right-hand path aspects of the Luciferian belief system. So, Luciferianism is not just a left-hand path. It can also be a right-hand path, too. But yeah, he does a pretty good job explaining all this. Great author. You can find his stuff on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. It's not overly expensive, and it's not out of print. Same thing with this guy. I got it off Amazon. Simon Mark Alvarez. Okay. Again, I recommend the third volume here because it's got 1 and 2 in it. So yeah. I think that's like all I can really recommend for beginning in Gnostic Luciferianism. I mean, the most important ones, I would say, are definitely going to be from this author right here, Jeremy Krishna. You know, I recommend this, this one, and yeah, I mean, I think, and definitely this one are probably going to be like your core books, honestly, to begin with. So yeah, I'll leave some links in the description. I mean, this religion is definitely a great religion, in my opinion. It teaches empowerment, and you know, when I was a teenager, I was into Satanism, and it just wasn't providing enough for me, really. I always thought that my God was Lucifer. So it didn't make any sense for me to call myself a Satanist. Because one thing that a lot of people don't understand is a Satanist is always going to think that Lucifer and Satan are the same. The Luciferian is always... No, Satan and Lucifer are not the same. They're completely different beings. My cats are acting up. Hi, Cosmo. Yeah. So, yeah. So, to the person that wanted this video, a lot of Gnostic Luciferians, yeah, are anti-natalists. We definitely don't want to contribute to the problem. And, yeah, there's too many people on Earth anyway, nowadays. So, yep. So, if anybody enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.